Hi, this is Mike. Welcome back to Tesch Valley. Just briefly, before we get into the video today, I have a couple things on order that you'll see in the video from PTF, my first building flats. So I'm really excited to get those. Of course, one of them will be customized. The little police logo that's on it will be covered with a Michigan State Police sticker to go with my Michigan State Police car that you've seen in previous videos. And then obviously the Ghostbusters Firehouse flat. I emailed the company and they said they can put instead of having a picture of Ecto 1, which I obviously have the Ecto 1 with all the lights and siren, they can actually print it with the garage door closed. So that's where I'll be putting my Ecto 1 in front of that here when that arrives here, hopefully in the near future. My daughter's actually got this little turntable for Christmas. So I have a couple videos here using that to kind of showcase some of the newest additions to the layout here. I think it turned out pretty cool. And then last video I did a time for something different. I showed photos of the derailment that happened outside my childhood home. Something I stumbled across on eBay not too long ago, so that's in today's episode of For Something Different. It's in the right scale, but it's something that doesn't fit in with the layout, but I'll explain that later in the video of why I selected this and why I purchased this recently. So you'll see the Frankenmuth Brewery car, which is the most beautiful piece of rolling stock I have. Stockyard Express. That was my first purchase from them, in addition to a second of the log haulers that I've already customized with the oak branches from my backyard. I showed that in a previous video. But that Frankenmuth Brewery car is just the detail, the paint work is absolutely the most beautiful boxcar on my layout. I have a Champion plywood car, and you'll see two videos on the turntable with the doors closed, and then the doors on that one, they push in and they slide open, which is kind of unique. Back in the Upper Peninsula, we had Champion paper. We didn't have the plywood division, but that's the only Champion boxcar that I've been able to find so far, so that's close enough in my book to add it to the layout. You'll see my new 3D campers that I printed, the truck camper and the two little micro campers. I put those on the turntable, so you'll see those up here. You'll see the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man and my Slimer that I 3D printed. You'll see my coffins that I 3D printed. And if you're also a subscriber to Country Bunkers Trains, he posted here about a month ago. I sent him 3 of the 3D printed coffins because he had mentioned when he bought that church for his new portion of his layout, he wanted to have like a funeral scene. So I heard that, emailed him, sent him those 3 3D printed coffins down to Florida. He's a Michigan man like myself, so you always got to support your Michiganders here. You'll see the battle cross that I 3D printed with a little semicircle brick stand that I glued it to, with the flagpole that I painted and put the eagle's head on top. And then the last thing, my son showed me a website that can take like a JPEG and actually like extrude it into an STL file that you can use on 3D printers. So you'll see some photos of my switch tower, which initially was the blue and the gray. I kit bashed that, painted that to match some old black and white photos of the switch tower that was across from my childhood home, with a couple different websites where you take a black and white photo and they will colorize it for you. So that's what it came out as. So that's the colors that I went with. And one of the old black and white photos actually had a little sign on it that said Tesch. So I 3D printed 2 of those, put one on either side, so you'll see that in the video. So thanks for tuning in. And we're literally 3 subscribers away from 200. So I'm not going to celebrate yet, but after my last video, we were at around 61, 70, and it's been going up pretty steady since then. In April, we'll be 2 years old, so I'm looking forward to that. We'll have a big 2-year celebration, and I'm also in the process of, I've actually created a new Gmail account that I'll be switching the ownership of the YouTube channel over to that account. So the YouTube channel and the Gmail email address and everything will kind of match. So I'm going through the steps of doing that now. I think I have to wait 7 days before that new Gmail account that I created can be switched over as owner of this channel. So nothing else will change. I'm just changing the email address and to match the name of the YouTube channel. So we'll get right into the videos here. You'll start off with the turntable that my daughter's got, and then we'll go into some still photos, and then stay tuned toward the end for something different. I think you'll enjoy it. Thanks. And like I mentioned earlier, this Champion International plywood division was not in the Upper Peninsula. We had their paper division, but When I saw this boxcar, and I do remember seeing Champion boxcars go by my house as a child in this blue and white paint scheme, I knew I had to have it. And this one has the doors open in a very unusual fashion, which I thought was kind of cool. The center two doors actually push into the boxcar, and then you slide them towards the end. So kind of an unusual way of opening on a boxcar, but I thought it was pretty cool. So I definitely wanted to show that in the video today, how unique these doors open. This is the first one like this on my layout that has these kind of doors. This was a custom run from Stockyard Express out in Oberlin, Ohio. Jason of Jason's Old Gauge Trains. That's his favorite place. This boxcar is gorgeous. The detail on the dog there, the little Dachshund. And actually visited this brewery last summer when we were camping nearby in Vassar. They have a pretty good red. This, again, is the Mr. Muffin's trains. I've seen several places doing these custom runs of these Atlas O snowplows. This one in the Milwaukee Road. The only problem with my my new layout that I've got designed is now I have to figure out how to be able to have this travel along the layout, having both wings out without knocking stuff over. Here's my redone 3D printed truck camper. This is about 6 or 8 pieces. The first one just wasn't printing very well, so I had to do this again. And there you can see the turntable that my daughters received for Christmas. So that's kind of cool. Here's the first of the 2 trailers that I printed. This is all one piece. You'll see a little hole at the top so I didn't have it filled with resin. Kind of tricky to paint something this small. These wheels do not turn. But the ones on the second camper here, that's all 3D printed all at one time on this blue one here, and those wheels actually turn on the axles here, this one, and the little mini tab camper. Again, this is all just solid one piece, but when it prints, the way it prints, it allows the axles and the wheels actually to turn. So I wanted to go a little bit bright with the colors, and on the layout you'll see that the red camper's behind a red truck and the blue one's behind a blue truck, so I had to kind of match them up there, keep everything consistent. Here's the battle cross that I printed, and I 3D printed that flagpole in about 3 different pieces and then glued it all together with the resin. Put the eagle's head at the top, painted the American flag, and then printed that little wall structure and the battle cross itself separately, and then glued all that together. And I do have a spotlight that shines up on the flag whenever the layout lights are turned on, to always have the flag illuminated. Here's some of those examples of the 3D printed coffins, 3 of which I sent down to Zach and Country Bunkers Trains down in Florida. He was thrilled to get that, and he actually gave me a shout out on his video, which I definitely greatly appreciate, being kind of a fledgling YouTube channel here, approaching the 200 subscriber mark. And here is, I had a little fun here a while ago. I printed Slimer first, and then obviously I can't print the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man in full scale. He'd tower over the layout and I wouldn't have any room left, which I already have that problem. So these are some 3D prints I did. I had to drill a small hole in the Stay Puft to let the resin out, and there is like an internal structure to keep that thing standing upright. Which leads into the PTF Building Flats. The one I ordered will have the red garage door instead of the picture of Ecto 1. Since I already have the Ecto 1 with the lights and the siren, and then the second one to go along with my state police car. There's actually several state police posts that actually kind of look similar to this, so I'll just put a big Michigan State Police badge there right in the center, and we'll be good to go with another kit bash. And here you'll see the 3D printed Tesch signs on the north side of the layout, and then the same sign centered on the south side of the layout since there's no staircase there. Like I said, the old photos that I found and turned into colorization had little signs like this on the switch tower back in the day. And here she is, the Glacier Girl, from the Lost Squadron of 6 P-38 Lightnings like this and 2 B-17 bombers that were lost in Greenland many, many years ago. I bought this shot glass when I visited the Glacier Girl when she was still in Middlesboro, Kentucky, where she was restored. Took over 10 years. She is in flying condition. I've not been able to see her fly, but when this popped up on eBay in the 1/50th scale, and knowing how much I love this plane, I have to add her to the layout. I just have to figure out what kind of fishing line or wire to hang her from the ceiling with. So if you have any pointers there, something that you can't see, I'm all ears. And of course, with my daughter's little turntable, I had to do this just to show you the Glacier Girl logo on the side. And I didn't know it when I bought this off of eBay that it has a little special feature. So that'll be here momentarily, but you can see the Lost Squadron on the back. She was found in the ice, 300 feet of ice in Greenland with the rest of the planes that were lost many, many years ago, and it took over 10 years to get her back in flying condition. There was a whole documentary made about how they use special tools to get her out of the ice and that kind of thing. So if you don't know the story of the Glacier Girl, please look it up. You won't be disappointed.